Hello students, welcome to the class. Today the topic for this online class is right to information. Right to information. So this is in unit 4 of mass communication in third year BSW or 6th semester BSW for Mangalore University. This video is made by Department of Social Work, Government First Grade College, Car Street, Mangalore. The topic is right to information. In that, 2 points we are going to discuss. That is, what is right to information and salient features of RTI Act. The objectives of the class to understand the meaning of right to information. So, right to information ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ. ಸೊ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಪಡೆಯುವ ಹಕ್ಕು, ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ದಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹಕ್ಕು. ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನು, ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಿಂದ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಟು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೇಲಿಯಂಟ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ ಟಿ ಐ ಆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇದರ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹಕ್ಕು ಕಾಯಿದೆ, ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹಕ್ಕು ಕಾಯಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಅದರದ್ದು ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಅಂಶಗಳೇನು ಇದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬಹುದು ನಾವಿವತ್ತು. ಸೇಲಿಯಂಟ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಇದರ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹಕ್ಕು ಕಾಯಿದೆ ಇದು. First we will start with the right to information. The Government of India enacted Right to Information Act 2005 to set out the practical regime to right to information for citizen to secure access to information under the control of public authorities, to promote the transparency and accountability in the working of any public authority. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ದು ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರೆಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ, our country is a democratic country. So the government is run by the nothing but it is run on the wish of the public. So every public, if they are having the right to ask information about the government or the work of the government or any details or any project of the government or any information of the government should be given to the public if they ask. So for that they made this act called as right to information. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಗೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. So what is the right to information? It provides access to information which is held by or under the control of any public authority. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಪಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹಕ್ಕು ಮೂಲಕ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ನಡೀತದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡುವ ಹಕ್ಕು ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ದ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ or they can take the details from where exactly the work is going on, or extracts or the certified copies of the documents or the records, whatever the government documents are there which are allowed under this act. They can take the certified copies of the same or the document or the records and certified samples of materials and obtaining information which is also stored in electronic form. Not only the soft copies they can inspect, the public is having the authority to inspect or obtain the information which is there in the soft form, which is stored in the electronic form. So any government related documents, the public is having the complete right to inspect and collect the copies. So that is the right of all Indian citizens. So RTA application can be made online at rtaonline.gov.in. So the manually also we can one can apply for this RTA, and the online application provision also available. So who can ask information? What is the eligibility to ask the information? Any citizen can request for information by making an application in writing or through electronic means, in English or in Hindi or official language of that area, so which is applicable, the which the application is being made together with the prescribed fees. So ಯಾರೇ ಬೇಕಾದರೂ the Indian citizen ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, they can make the application, they can file the application. So that may be so they can file in either in Hindi, English, or in the official language of that area. If it is in Karnataka, they can file in Kannada also, so along with the prescribed fee. Then who will provide the information? So once the citizen, if they applies for that, then who how he will get the information, or the who will give the information to him? So every public authority shall designate the central assistant public information officer, that is CAPIO, at various levels, who will receive the request for the information from the public. So he is responsible for, now the central government will appoint, that is central assistant public information officer, CAPIO, at the various levels. So he will receive the request for the information from the public. The central public information officer in all administrative units or the offices will arrange for providing necessary information to the public. So they will collect the information from the particular department from where the applicant is seeking the information, that will be collected. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ಈ CPIOಗಳು ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಲುಪಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. The application or the request for the information must be disposed of either by providing the information or rejecting the request within the period of 30 days. ಅಂದ್ರೆ RTI ಮೂಲಕ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ 30 ಡೇಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಐದರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ವಿತ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ವಿದಿನ್ 30 ಡೇಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. Now we'll see the salient features of RTI Act 2005. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಅಂಶಗಳೇನಿದೆ ಈ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹಕ್ಕು ಕಾಯ್ದೆದು. RTI Act 2005 empowers every citizen to, that will give the power to every citizen to ask any question from the government or seek any information. So they can ask the question to the government, or they can seek the information from the government, and to take the copies of any government documents. So all the citizens, so they are eligible, and they have the power to take the copies of any government documents and inspect any government documents. So to they are eligible, or they have the all the citizens have the power to inspect any of the government document and inspect any government work. If any government work is going on anywhere, or the government project, all the citizens, they have the power to inspect the government work. But for that, in the prescribed format, they have to apply for the same along with the reason, and to take the sample of the material of any government work, maybe in the electronic form or in the printed form. They are having the power to take the sample materials with the paying the prescribed fees. So you can seek the information from any department of central or state government. Say this is about from where you are the what and all the department from where you can seek the information. You are eligible to take the details or the information. So that is any department of central or state government. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನೀವು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಪಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಅರ್ಹರಾಗಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಆರ್ from Panchayat Raj institutions, or if it is government, central government, state government, or the Panchayat Raj institutions, and from any other organization or institution, including NGOs, so that are established, constituted, owned, or controlled, or substantially financed directly or indirectly by the state or central government. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಸಹಾಯ ಪಡೆದು ನಡೆಯುವ ಯಾವುದೇ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ದಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ NGOs ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇ every public is having the right to ask for the information. In each department, at least one officer has been designated as Public Information Officer, that is PIO. Uh, he or she accepts the request from request forms and provide information sought by the people. So in all the departments, the officer will be there, PIO, that is Public Information Officer. But their work is to give the information to the public when they are seeking. So they should accept the request forms and provide the information sought by the people. Whatever the information people are asking, that he is supposed to give. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡೋದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವರು ಈ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. In addition, in each sub district or the divisional level, so there are assistant public information officers who receive requests for information and appeals against the decisions of the public information officers, and then send them to appropriate authorities. So directly to PIOs or assistant PIOs, so they can receive the application and they can collect the information and can be given to the public. So how it will be started? Any person seeking the information should file the application in the writing or through electronic means in English, Hindi, or any official language of that area. As I told before, it is if in Karnataka, it is Kannada, along with the application fee with the PIO or APIO. They have to file the application with the PIO or APIO, writing the information in the application in the English, Hindi, or in case of Karnataka, it is Kannada. So you can see the sample of application. So this is the format of application for RTI Act 2015. The prescribed fees will be 10, that is 10 rupees stamp they have to fix. So only minimum informations will be there, so to whom they are applying, and full name of the applicant, their address, and particulars of the information required. So what information they required, so subject matter of the information, period to which information relates. But if any official document, so the government document of which year, so now it is 2020, if you require the information of 2019, so that has to be mentioned here. So descriptions of the information required, so in that particular period, in that particular department, what type of information it is required. So you can for this information, if the detailed separate copies can be attached to this, that is A4 size paper, you can attach if you want to give the information, ask the information detailly or the particularly, if you are adding the more points. So your list enclosed you can write, or the annexer you can attach the A4 size copy. So the information is required by post or person in case by ordinary post or the registered post. So you can ask them to post, or you can ask them to make ready, and by hand you can go and collect from the same person. And so there will be a prescribed fees. So whether the applicant is below the poverty line, this will be free of cost, no fee will be there. So for that, with the proof or the photography of the proof for the below poverty line, they have to attach. Then place date and the signature. A simple application can be made, and that has to be submitted to the PIOs. Where a request cannot be made in writing, the PIO is supposed to render all the reasonable assistance to the person making the request orally to reduce the same in writing. So, if the person cannot write the application properly, or if it is the details are they cannot the person is not capable of writing the filling the application properly, then PIO should assist him, or he should render any assistance to the person or to the public to complete the to fill the application. So like in the special conditions, like if the applicant if he is deaf or the blind, otherwise impaired, the public authority is supposed to provide the assistance to enable the assess the information, including providing such assistance as may be appropriate for the inspection. I think, but if any physically or challenged person, if he require the information, and if you want the require information not in the written form, in any other form, for that the PIO should make the arrangement. So somebody should inspect the document, and the same person should inform the applicant about the same. If he can hear, then he can the along like in the voice message, he can transfer the information. So beside the applicant's contact details, the applicant is not required to either give any reasons for requesting the information or any other personal details. Only whichever is mentioned in the application form, those details are sufficient to get the information. So along with that, no need to supply, or no need to provide any other information, and no reason for requesting the information is required. And the only applicant details in contact details of application ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಇದನ್ನೇನು ಕೊಡುವ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. A reasonable application fee will be charged for each application and supply of the information. ಯಾವುದಾಗಲಿ already it is mentioned in that application form, ₹10 as prescribed by the central government, whereas in other state fee amount may vary. ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ನವರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ 10 for the application. However, no fee is chargeable from the person who is below the poverty line. The information is provided after the prescribed period. Only the person supposed to apply for this information to get to seek the information, and without paying any fees if he is below the poverty line, along with the document, and the information will be provided after the prescribed period, that is 30 days. Fees will be charged for obtaining the copy of the document. That is only information. It will be given within that prescribed fees, the 10 rupees. After that, if you want the copy of the document, if you are asking for the copy of the document, then for that the extra fee will be charged. The central government has prescribed fees of ₹2 for each page created and copied. In some states the charges are higher, there may be 4 rupees or the 5 rupees also, but in the from the central government, that is ₹2 for each page. If you are if you along with the information, if you want the supporting document proof, if it is of 10 pages, then you have to pay 20 rupees extra. If the information is not provided in the stipulated time limit, then the information will be provided for free. If stipulated period in the sense that is 30 days, if the 30 days if you are not getting the information and if you inform the same to the authority, so your information will be provided freely. If the PIO feels that the sought information does not pertain to the department, then it shall be his responsibility to forward the application to the related or the relevant department within 5 days and also inform the applicant about the same. If PIO of particular department by mistake, if we get the application form, RTA application form, but it is not belongs to his department, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಅದು ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬೈ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ, ಆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಆಗ ಅವನು ವಿದಿನ್ 5 ಡೇಸ್ ಆ RTI ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದಿನ್ 5 ಡೇಸ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೆಂಟ್. In such instance, the stipulated time limit for the provision of information would be 35 days. Under 30 days, actually, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5 days ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಮ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 35 days ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. In case PIOs does not furnish the information within the prescribed period or unreasonably troubles the applicant, then the applicant can file complaint against him with the information. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ PIO ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, or if he does not furnish the information within the prescribed period or unreasonably troubles the applicant, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೆಂಟ್ ನ ಏನಾದರೂ ಟ್ರಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, then the applicant is having the right to file the complaint against him. In case PIO without any reasonable cause fails to receive the application for the information, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಅವನ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳದೇನೆ ಇದ್ರೆ, ವಿದೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ರೀಸನೇಬಲ್ ಕಾಸ್ ಇಫ್ he fails to receive the application for the information, RTA information, denies the request of information, ಅದು ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, or knowingly gives incorrect, incomplete or misleading information, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಆರ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫರ್ನಿಶಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10 rupees ಇರೋದು, instead if he is asking higher fees, then the applicant can file direct complaint to the central or state information commission. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಆ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ವಿತ್ PIO ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಕೇಸ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಹಕ್ಕು ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. The PIO can deny the information in some cases or some matters. It is not that all the information will be given to the public. There are some rules and there are some restrictions also. The various exemptions from disclosure of information are listed in the section 8 of RTI Act. Section 8 of RTI Act ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಎಕ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಎಕ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸಮ್ ದಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ಸ್ of the central government which are related to the relation to the foreign state or lead to incitement of the offense, or some information that will be that will not be provided even to the registration assembly or the parliament also, or some of the decisions of the courts which is not disclosed. So there are plenty of list. These informations cannot be given to the public, nothing but all the public, so they are not nothing. If it is one or other way, it is not safe to give this information to the public. nothing but on the safety of the country. So information received in the confidence from the foreign government. There may be some some type of agreement between some countries, that is the secret agreements. So those informations and all cannot be given. If the sought information is in public interest, then the exemptions enumerated in the section 8 of RTA Act 2005 can also be. ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 8 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 8 ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು RTA Act ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು ಆ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Any information that cannot be denied to the parliament or the legislative assembly cannot be denied to the common. So in case the person fails to get the response from PIO within the prescribed period or aggrieved by the response received, ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ಡ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಎಗ್ರಿವ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರುವ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಂದ, ಆರ್ ಮಿಸ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 8 ಆಫ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ PIO ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಷನ್ನು ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಏನಾರಾದರೆ then he can file the appeal within 30 days with an officer superior in the rank to the PIO. So this is called as first appeal. ಅಂದರೆ 30 ದಿನಗಳೊಳಗಡೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಅವನು ಕೊಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಅವನೇನಾದರೂ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 8 ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವನು ಮಿಸ್ಲೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ 30 days ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪೀಲ್. ಇಫ್ ದ ಅಪೆಲೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ, ಅಪೀಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಆಗದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪೀಲ್, then the second appeal with the State Information Commission or the Central Information Commission within 60 days ಒಳಗಡೆ second appeal ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. And finally, if the PIO fails to furnish the information asked for under the act or fails to communicate the rejection order within the time specified, the PIO will be liable to pay the penalty of 250 per day for each day of delay. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಟಿಪ್ಯುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪರ್ ಡೇ 250 rupees ಥರ ಅವರು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಆಫ್ 25,000, ಅಂದರೆ 25,000 ತನಕ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪೆನಾಲ್ಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ PIOಗಳು ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಅವರ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ. The Information Commission can also recommend disciplinary action against the concerned PIO under the service rule applicable to or for him. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸೇಲಿಯಂಟ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ RTA ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗ ನಾವು RTA ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಯಾರು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಅಂಶಗಳೇನು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ syllabus. Not only for the subject, this each and every citizen of India should know about that, what is our rights, and this will be also helpful for your competitive exams. So not only for the for your subject. So thank you for watching. We'll discuss some other topic in the next video.